Movement number 4. Dragon seeks path. Dragon whips his tail.
Yo, my man, why you got on that purse, huh?
Hey, this ain't no fucking purse. I'm the big dilf. Don't do that. $100 Patron in the bid at, you heard? Get your money up, not your funny up.
We live and direct, indirect. We out here, you heard? What you gotta say, son? Say what you, get it off your chest. Get it off your chest, dog.
What y'all gonna do when I start my podcast up and I just look at you and I don't even blink like this? Alright, cool.
Alright, yeah, I'm about to say my shit was about to go too.
So,
yo.
Just got done listening to my dude, Joseph Raheem Budden. I don't know if Raheem is his middle name, but I feel like that. I don't know why that tickled me, but anyway. So, last time on, I don't know what to call this. Like,
I don't know, man.
Hip hop has never been, has not been this lit since 50 and Ja. This is crazy.
Definitely
right
out here popping right now.
So, just got done listening to the Joe Budden podcast. I did a little reaction to the clip that dropped yesterday where he said he was better than M. Y'all should go check that out. Blah, blah, blah. This and the third. But we just listened to the full podcast, or like the point that he was talking about. He was responding to M, what we were all waiting for. And, yeah. So we haven't even really discussed what we feel about it yet. Like, we just opened up the camera and just started.
Oh yeah. This is 100% not freestyle because we know what we're talking about, but
like we at least get like a rough.
Like this, we have not talked about anything at all. No opinions have been shared or anything. So right now, you getting it. You heard?
And I'm
you
gonna
getting
tell
it,
you this right now. Go get you a little snack. Go get you a little roll up, little something.
Whatever you do,
because this gonna be
a beer. So, what you think about that shit?
I don't know where to start.
Okay, I to me, I think I could start. Well, I could start with a question that I feel like could spiral into this. Do you feel like Joe Budden in the last 10 years has been better than Eminem? Yes or no?
In what? See, that's why I said in my other video too. I said, in the last 10 years, what?
Musically, yeah.
Has he been lyrically better than M?
Musically, because
yes. Even if you're just gonna go on the one, she don't put it down like you. M hasn't had one of those this decade.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she don't put it down like you, and that's why I said in my other video too. Is Joe's argument is a big chunk of his argument, because that song is a good song, just a good song. I can listen to it to this day and it's still good. I would like to listen. I probably will listen to it. But lyrically, I'm not 100% sure if I just co-sign that he's been better than M lyrically. But that doesn't really mean that makes M better at that point. That's just my little hot take. I think Joe Budden has been better with music than...
You think lyrically... I don't know. I feel like I don't really know if I 100% agree with that, because I almost feel like, me personally, I may have not liked Eminem's music as much recently, but like, as far as music goes, and well, he's definitely had more of an impact. I mean, Eminem has definitely had more of an impact on the culture for the last 10 years than Joe Budden has musically, but Joe Budden to me is one of the greatest lyricists actually of all time.
Wait. That's a different thing too, because M has had more impact on the culture with his music, but I don't think he hasn't had more impact on the culture, period. Joe Budden has been way more influential in the culture in the last 10 years than Eminem has, like by leaps and bounds. If that's the argument, if we take it away from music.
But that's what I'm saying though. So to me, so you think genuinely lyrically that Eminem has been better than Joe Budden?
Yeah. What Joe Budden verse are you going up? Like, here's the problem with M. what's been M's problem for the last 10 years. All he's focused on is his lyrics. That's the only thing he's focused on. He's more worried. He was like in the last 10 years, he's more worried about how many syllables can I fit into this thing more than does this sonically sound good. Now, yeah, you're upping your arsenal on quality of rhyme, but then that's also taking down your arsenal in quality of music. Because we're not going to sit here and act like M has not, like, you can have the angle of M's music has been trashed in 10 years, which I could agree with. But what we can't, the reason it's been trashed is because he's been so hyper focused on. Because if I read you, you know what I'm saying? Like for instance, you don't like the Forever verse. If I read you the Forever verse, right, you would be like, oh, that's fire, and you never heard it. So lyrically, that's better. But musically, sonically, he's not better. Joe Budden has not spit something like the Forever verse. Technically, that's what we're talking about, technically. Now, Joe Budden's has things that hit more because he talks about, like, real life stuff. That's the difference between, like I always say, Lil Wayne and Jay-Z. Like, Lil Wayne is more like Eminem, Jay-Z is more like Joe Budden. Where Lil Wayne is going to say some far-fetched, kidnap you for how much you love your lady money. He's never actually do that.
Yeah.
That doesn't really hit, like, realistically. It just hits as a technical rhyme, like, oh, that was dope. But then when Jay goes, baby, man, you ain't got my lady's money. Whoo! Like, that is so much more fire. That's fire you can't teach. This is what I was saying in my other video. The problem that M has had in the last 10 years is that believe it or not, being able to rap well is a lot easier to duplicate and learn how to do than be able to make good music.
Yes.
Because that's just math.
I mean, rapping is one of those things you can practice.
But it's literal math because you count how many syllables. Like it's just as simple as you see what's in a bar, see what's in a stanza, count how many syllables could be in that stanza, try to add more syllables than that. Don't rhyme the last word and rhyme the syllables, and there you go.
Yeah,
you can literally a formula.
You can practice rapping. You can't practice.
It's A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Once you have the formula, you just have to plug in the numbers. But you can't teach somebody how to make when Jay says, I do this for my culture, to let them know what a nigga look like when a nigga in a roaster, show them how to move in a room full of vultures. Industry is shade if you need to be taken over. Label owners hate me, I'm raising the status quo. I'm overcharging niggas for what they did to the Cold Crush. Whoo! Like, technically, that's cool, that's dope, but what he's saying I'm overcharging niggas for what they did to the Cold Crush. That just make you want to cry. Like, I haven't heard, like, a bar from M that just made me want to cry since, like, you know what I'm saying, since Encore, maybe. You know what I mean?
I just feel like I don't know. That's still kind of surprising me that you don't think lyrically. Because I feel like this is my take on Eminem.
Wait, but I've given you actual verses in the last 10 years that I don't think Joe Budden can compare to. Is there a verse that you're talking? Is there something that you're talking about that would say that? Or
well, no, I guess the way, I mean, because I'm more stuck on to me, I think Eminem, to me, has been, in the last 10 years, has been more focused on making songs that everybody likes, more so than, because are you going to tell me that lyrically, anything his last 3 albums were better than, like, Marshall Mathers LP lyrics?
Yes, and that's the misconception. Lyrically, he's probably technical lyrical ability on piece of paper, he's probably better than he was before. But that's what makes him also sonically whacker.
I think I kind of chalk that more up to Eminem, more so isn't necessarily more lyrical. I think he is more open to what he talks about. That's to me.
No, that's the exact opposite.
How do you figure?
Because M was more open before. Because when M is talking about something, when Slim Shady is talking about his mom, when Slim Shady is talking about GLAD protests, have you ever been hated or discriminated against? I have. I've been protested and demonstrated against. Pick a side for the wicked rhyme. Look at the top. That's different than, I'm not afraid. Like you're actually separating yourself from the music more because you're making more bland music that's supposed to fit everybody, like you said. So you're not doing personal stuff anymore. You're trying to talk about domestic abuse. Okay,
but to me, that's why his I feel like his lyricism.
No. Notice how domestic abuse, when he talked about domestic abuse with Slim Shady, he's talking about hitting Kim. He's talking about when the ICP dude had her and he pulled the gun out and it dropped. He's speaking specific. So when you hear that, you're like, wow. Now he's literally just talking about. He's not being. He's literally like, yeah, I'm not afraid. Watch the video and stuff. Like all this other stuff is just like random. Monster and stuff like okay, all of this theme that he's taking could loosely apply to him before it was specific to him. Cleaning Out My Closet is specific to Eminem. The song that he made recently about not being like close to his mom can really fit a bunch of other people too. So like I think that because he's more focused on lyrical. Here's another misconception that a bunch of people have that I don't understand why. Eminem did not used to rap this fast. Eminem did not used to rap. I don't know why people like, and even Eminem thinks this, like, where it's like, yeah, I used to be the It wasn't that you were, because I think people are too focused on, with the 10 years before this, I think he was too focused on, there they go, look, he's more focused on that than,
y'all act like you never seen a white person before. Draws all on the floor like Tommy.
But that's not a good example because that's fast too. But I'm saying
yeah, but it isn't. It's not though. It doesn't sound the same on a song.
I'm talking more like sing for the moment. I don't think this Eminem or like the Eminem for the because these ideas are nightmares for white parents. Like the other stuff you're saying is rap. He didn't used to always do that. These ideas are nightmares for white parents.
Yeah, he does that a lot more now. Yeah, I agree with that.
Now he'd be like, these ideas are nightmares for the white parents, the worst parents are nightmares for the white parents. Like, that's not the same thing. So it's like, even I Am, even though I Am is rapid, but it's slow. It's I sit back with this pack.
It's his eyes in this bag,
It's not.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I never understood, but I think that's what made this album Kamikaze so much better is because I think that you could hear him. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just like So that's what I was thinking. Yeah. But what did you think about when Joe said that he's been better? I want to hear that. He's been better than M in general. What do you think? Because you asked me.
The thing about Joe Budden is that Joe Budden is a person that everybody knows is good, like as a rapper, but a lot of people I don't feel like know. Like, if you ask them, yo, what's your favorite Joe Budden song? Honestly, I don't even know if majority of people, you know what I mean? Because like majority of people, I don't personally feel like would even know that much of Joe. If he's been better than him, I don't think he's necessarily reaching. I understand the point that he was making. I feel like it's weird because I don't know if Joe Budden genuinely meant that. Like, I know what
I knew exactly what he was trying.
I knew what he was trying to say. I knew what he was trying to say. To me, he was trying to say, like, nigga, all these people have been saying that you've been lacking in this and this and this, and then now you basically the whole shit that we already talked about, like, you know, listening to people and what you want them to do opposed to what you want to do, and you're rapping this way and people want you to rap like this, and he apologized a lot on his album about how he felt. To me personally, I feel like Joe Budden hasn't been better than him for the last 10 years musically, but for the culture, not even debatable. Like, I think Joe.
And that's when I was doing that too. I'm like, okay, so what is he talking about, right? He was specifically talking about lyrics, because he said, "In my rapper mind," and then I was like, oh, okay, well that's where you're off.
Yeah,
because he hasn't even been better than him in the BET ciphers that they were together.
Correct.
So it's like, I don't know why he would say that. I know why he's saying that. What he's doing is there's been a chink exposed in his armor, in Eminem's armor. So this is the moment Joe can say that and get away with it.
Yeah, and that's why, like, I feel like I answered that question kind of a roundabout way, because, like, I felt like Joe was coming from, I feel like he was meaning something by what he was saying, but what he was saying was valid. I feel like this. I feel like almost everything that Joe Budden said in that, a good majority of that shit, I did agree with. I agreed with the fact that, you know, the importance to the culture, what people want you to do, what people don't want you to do as an artist, as an entertainer in general. Like, I don't know. I feel like he had some good points, and I feel like also
with the therapy shit.
He does. Yeah, he does. That was the part where I was like, nigga, like, but he had very solid points with the whole domestic violence situation. Yeah. I mean,
definitely the wrong person to say.
Definitely the very wrong person to say that, and like to take shots at that. But I didn't agree with at the beginning when he was like, man, you let the fans tell it, nigga, M killed you. You know what I mean? I didn't agree with that, because I think the shots that he did take at Joe Budden were valid. I think that.
Oh yeah, that's the next thing. When he goes, they're trying to push the narrative on his thing that wasn't a good diss. Like, man, you should have came harder than that. Here's the thing that made me so mad about that. It's like here's the thing that makes me mad about Joe Budden's stance and how hypocritical he is. And I know that he's being hypocritical because he's very emotional right now.
Yeah, he is.
Like he's not.
But
what made me be like y'all just don't want M to win. Like, and this is crazy that I'm the person saying this, because I've always been I just got a week ago I was getting hate as, oh nigga, you just be hating Eminem. That's who I was. Yeah, and then now this album, oh nigga, you just riding this. It's like, bro, okay, but here's the thing I'm saying though. I'm not unfair. And this is the thing that I hate, everybody does it, even artists. If you have critiques with somebody and they fix those critiques, what are your critiques now? Because he admits, yeah, I had a bunch of problems with it, this first album, and it sounds like he fixed them here. And even the stuff he was, if you go back and watch what he was saying, why he didn't like the album, he's like, yo, get back in your bag. And then it's like, now all of a sudden, because it's about you, it's not in his bag. Like, oh, well, that was whack.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're.
Yeah.
And I was like, so you what? Like,
I have a very weird thing. Like, I've seen a lot of people. I don't think we talked about this on the podcast yet. I've seen a lot of people say that they like this album. I've also seen a lot of people that say they dislike it, but I also don't believe that those people even listen to it. But one of the biggest things to me that I feel like is a reason to believe that these like niggas are not really listening to this work is because what they're saying about it is like, it's like you didn't hear it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, are you kidding me?
The thing is that I learned that people want M out of the position that he's been in. That's what people want. People will not accept Eminem anymore. And he might have to retire. Like, he might not have to retire because he's still going to be like the number one album and sell like the most that anybody's ever seen. But like, what Eminem wants, he'll never get again.
No.
And I noticed like even
he's advanced too much for that.
As the album gets older and older, there's more people coming out the woodwork pretending they hated it than the first day.
Oh, definitely. I've seen a lot. I've seen majority of people on my timeline have said it was trash. But there are also a majority of people on my timeline.
Not on my timeline.
Oh, I agree. I imagine, because I'm sure that we have different.
Well, not even that, but I've seen the consensus to me is that Eminem, that's the best Eminem album in the last 10 years.
Agreed. I've definitely seen that.
Joe is saying, and a lot of people said MGK, that was dope what he did, but if Eminem responds, he's gonna kill him. That's the consensus. So
yeah, I've seen that as well.
What I'm saying though is that what I was saying is like the whole like, nigga, you can't have gripes, specific gripes with someone. They change those gripes, and because they mentioned your name, all of a sudden, because he's almost damn near double backing and saying like the opposite of what he said the first time. Where it's like,
because at first he was like, at first to me, Joe Budden was like, this is fire. This is the M. He was taking the approach I didn't want him to take, in the stance of being like, like, I hope he doesn't deny this body of work. Like, I hope he really doesn't think that this isn't as good as it really is, or anybody for that matter. I don't know.
I mean, he's passive aggressive with doing that. I just was just saying, like, you can't. I don't know. It's weird to me to pretend like. I don't know. It's weird to me to pretend like that's not exactly what you asked him to do.
Yeah.
Like, it is a thing. It is a problem. The thing that I will agree with is that M has sacrificed quality of music for quality of verse. Where the ability he lost was the ability to make a good song first and then have the verses be good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he's lost that ability. I think he needs to have something to be attacking, and I don't think we'll get like a...
It takes a certain type of anger in him to make a certain.
But it's always takes a certain type of anger for him. That's another thing I do not understand. What people like this whole narrative that's going around, like, well, geez, it's just like now all of a sudden you want to rap again because you're angry. It's like, nigga, that's literally the only reason he wasn't rapping before is because he wasn't angry.
Right. To me, that's. I mean.
No, that's facts. There's
like I don't.
Rich. Like
everything that. Everything people liked him for, he kind of stopped doing, but then there are certain people that stayed with him. But I mean, a lot of...
I think M forgot what people liked him for, and I think what happened is, because I do agree with Joe Budden a lot, and I even agree with the MGK line, where MGK's talking about, yo, you're inside. You're inside. Like, you don't know what's going on. That was Eminem's biggest mistake, was not, like... So not putting himself in music the whole time, and Joe Budden brought up a great point when he goes, if Jay-Z is doing that, then why do you think you don't have to?
Okay, so this is the thing. I kind of want to say something, but I want to ask something first. All right, so do you think a lot of people like M for old M, period, opposed to just liking M? Okay, because to me, I'll use an example. Like Jay-Z, like you just said, the thing about Jay-Z is always recreated himself. He's always reinvented himself and made himself a certain type of relevant. You know what I mean? And like, all right, so boom. But then you got a person like Nas, who people consider a legend, right? But it seems like Nas's entire career, the only thing he's really been chasing is people want him to make music like Illmatic. That's what they look to him for. When they listen to Nas, they listen for Illmatic. When they listen to Jay, they listen for something new. Do you feel like Eminem is a person like that? Because like,
well, I'd have to answer that analogy first. The reason why is because the difference is Jay stayed on the court. If you don't stay on the court, we're going to have to judge it off your last shot. So Nas's outtake of put out of music has always been way slower than Jay-Z's. Nas has never been looked at as like an artist who stays in the ethos. Therefore, like, that's why Illmatic's held over his head, because that's like his best shot. So that's what we look at it.
Yeah, but that's kind of weird though, because they got like the same amount of albums, bro.
But not in the same time. And no, they... What?
I don't know, bro. Nas has a lot of albums.
Bro, they don't have anywhere near the same album. Oh, God. This nigga just made me mad. No, they don't have anywhere near the same amount of albums, bro. This nigga's... Anyway, and it's about the time in which they put out the album. Nas is... When Jay goes... What he even said it on Ether, where he goes... No, he goes... A Takeover, he goes... That's your one hot album every 4 years. That average is so lame. He said that.
Dog, Nas has like 17 albums, bro. That's a lot. What do you mean? Nas has a lot of albums.
What are Nas's albums, Andre?
Hold on, I'm about to read every one to you right
now. Because I literally see.
He's got Illmatic. It Was Written. I Am. Nostradamus. Stillmatic. From Illmatic till Stillmatic.
That's not an album.
What do you mean?
From Illmatic to Stillmatic?
It's an EP. It has 6 songs on it. Illmatic only had fucking 10 songs on it.
Illmatic's debut album on it. That's different.
Okay, so it's an EP, so you're not counting that. All right, Godson, a 7.
And then you see the lengths in between in which he's dropping them.
I mean,
Jay-Z dropped an
2002.
album every year for 20 years. I mean, 11 years.
Yeah,
At
but
least.
not. I mean, from 97 until literally 2002, he made albums, and then he didn't make an album in 2003. Then made.
You said from Illmatic dropped 94. It Was Written was dropped 96, and that was when that's 2 years, and that was considered his next. And then the next album was 3 years later. Then his album after that was.
Yeah, but he's still good. All I'm saying. My whole point was just that he has as many albums as that nigga. He's got Streets Disciple, Hip Hop Is Dead. He's got Nas. He's got Distant Relatives. That's 10.
My nigga, listen. Jay-Z has The Blueprint, Reasonable Doubt, 444, The Black Album, Blueprint 3, Magna Carta, Watch the Throne, American Gangster, Blueprint, The Gift and the Curse, The Dynasty, Rock My Familiar, Kingdom Come, In My Lifetime, Volume 2. Like, nigga, I'm literally only to Volume 2. Like, dog, he has way more albums than Nas.
My nigga. I mean, all I'm saying is I wasn't even halfway done, nigga, and I was already at 12.
Okay, anyway, so, and then how many of the albums, like, literally between his first album to, like, 2000, the output.
But I'm saying, though, listen, my whole point is this. Nas, even if he releases albums the same way, Eminem doesn't drop an album every year. Eminem used to, but hasn't for a while now. It's been a while that he was doing.
But when you're looking at like the Eminem show, like the whole thing, you're looking at that. Like this last leg of his career, like once he like the R albums, or I would say after the Eminem show, it was a different Eminem completely.
So do you think that majority of fans like Eminem for old Eminem, or do you think they've liked Eminem the whole time? Do you think majority of people have
majority of people like Eminem? That's a weird question because, like, what do you mean? Like, do I think the majority of Eminem fans or the majority of regular people in the world?
I mean, even like honestly, I mean, to me,
because his fans, as someone who does it, they definitely like his new shit. Like,
of course, I mean, yeah, of course, but like, how many? I mean, how many though? The numbers show how many people.
From what I'm seeing, more than not.
But okay, so you think majority of people have liked Eminem more time or less time of his career?
Do I think majority of people have liked him more time or less time?
Yeah. Do you think that people think that he's been whacker for longer than he hasn't not been? You know what I'm saying? I'm high.
But there's different groups of people though. Because that's like asking me, do Nicki Minaj fans think that Nicki has been whack? Like, are you asking about Eminem fans and people who want to purchase his albums, or are you just talking about, like, the regular people in the world?
Whoa. I mean, even, I don't know. I even think his fans,
because
regular people in the world.
What?
Regular people in the world.
I would say the regular people like Eminem for his old stuff, but honestly, numbers-wise, I don't know. He's still doing crazy numbers. Like, I think Eminem has a different base than he used to. I think that, like, the base he has now likes that shit, but I don't think, like... That's why that's a hard question to answer. It's not like... That's a vague... Like, who specifically are you talking about? Because the Not Afraid people love this shit. The people who came on the Not Afraid stuff, they like that shit. The other people, I don't know if they like it as much.
But do you think there's more people that don't like it as much as there is that do?
Do I think there's more people?
Do you think the
don't
masses
like it,
think that? What do you think the masses feel about him?
The masses think. See, that's hard, bro. Like, what the masses really think is hard because you can go off of Revival. But Revival didn't get the backlash that Revival.
I
got,
didn't think that. Go ahead.
Before that, got that.
I
Like,
feel like, I was gonna say, I feel like even people that I know that are big fans of Eminem were fans of Revival more than they were anything prior. Like,
of
meaning
his last album, of his very last album, yeah. I think majority, even M fans, didn't like that, but that was undeniable garbage. I think. But why are you asking that, basically? That was a long question. So, what is the point of that?
No,
question?
I just wanted to know because I just feel like a good thing. I mean, like there were some weird points in the podcast to me, like when Maul said that he had been saying that and shit like that. He was like been saying that people wasn't feeling this nigga and stuff like that, and I was like, I don't know, like because
people have not been like people. He's talking about the average nigga on the street. That's what he's talking about.
And like
talking
even
about.
but
And
even,
that's facts.
Yeah, I mean,
he hasn't liked Eminem for a while now.
Kinda. I mean, but I still feel like everybody still puts
It's
his
been
name.
more trendy to not like him than to like him. I'll say that.
Correct. Yeah. It is more of it's more of like a gimmick to say you don't like him or that shit's trash or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like saying like Most Def is whack. I mean.
Yeah, but I think that also has to do with the contrarianness of everything. But it's there is parts of that podcast where they're definitely protecting their friend. You know what I'm saying? They're definitely saying things that I just did not agree with, where it's just completely like... Yeah. As long as you admit you're just trying to protect your friend, which is fine, that could be your little lane. That could be what you're trying to do. I'm not mad at that. But admit you doing that. Yeah. Because I'm hearing like... And I'm going to keep it a buck. People are sicing this MGK diss track. Like, and this is what's bothering me so much. You know me of all people would hear a diss track on somebody, if you killed that person, I say you killed him. Especially Eminem. What? Like, I listened to that as a battle rap that I was listening to, and I was like, are you guys serious? Like, there's no way you're actually serious. What it is nobody's seen you get punched in the mouth before. That's what it is. Yeah. And then you got punched in the mouth, and now everybody's acting like, whoa.
But majority, yes, because like also a lot of people that Eminem is like went up against have been dumb whack. So like I think people are also like excited to see somebody who's actually just rapping. Period. Because
and the thing that pisses me off too is people like even in the podcast I've seen this a couple times. People are trying to rewrite Eminem's history now because they don't like Eminem now. Yeah. I heard somebody I heard somebody said, "Who has Eminem ever killed?"
Oh, yeah.
I was like, so we gonna do that? So Ja Rule ain't sitting somewhere right now because of F? Like, really? That's really? Yeah. Really? Like, okay, so he didn't get Cannabis the hell out of here. He didn't get Ja Rule the hell out of here. He didn't get Everlast the hell out of here. Benzino. Like, this is the thing. And then I even heard someone be like, oh, well, Benzino was old back then. He owned the biggest magazine in hip-hop. Like, what? That would be like going at... I couldn't even think of somebody that... Because who is as big as the Source was, because there's so many different outlets. Even if you're a fan of one outlet, you can go to another outlet. At that time, it was XXL and the Source. Yeah, facts. If you weren't in there, people didn't know about you.
Yeah, that's a fact.
So it's like, I hate how people try to rewrite it. Say, who did they kill? Benzino? Yeah. Definitely killed Benzino. Like, are we pretending like he did it?
He did. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, but, you know how it goes, though. I mean, niggas are they're gonna try to discredit the nigga as much as possible. Like,
yeah, people hate greatness, and people think Eminem has been in. I think it was Eminem's fault though, because Revival gave his people, his enemies, too much ammunition, and it's like a wounded dog. Like he wounded himself now, and now the wolves are like, they're smelling the blood. So now they're like, oh, wait a minute.
It's more they see that chink and they're like, well, maybe, you know what I mean? I don't know. I hope he claps back, honestly, because
at who?
I hope he responds to I hope he responds to MGK though. Like I do hope for that. I mean, he might not, but it's not crazy if he doesn't. But I hope he does.
Joe is like, yo, so go in the studio and make another diss, and if it's good, I'll respond. I was like, nigga, that's Cop Out City. Holy shit, that's a cop out.
I don't like how that was the one thing I did not like about that shit was when he was just making it seem like he was just on another level.
Yeah, but like, that's how I know it's more insecurity than it's an actual thing.
It was, because I'm like, nigga, anybody in their right mind who's watching this right now has to be thinking, like, this nigga smoking dust.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I was saying
in
my reaction. I was like, bro, like, and I just hate the fact that I always look at stuff psychologically. Like, I hate it because I just, like, all I hear is his, like, literally all
Well,
I
he said that. Don't you remember he said, do you feel like rappers are insecure? Like, he asked that, and then the niggas like Rory and Mal was like, well, yeah, I mean, you know, they kind of have to be like blah blah blah. And I was just sitting there like, okay, well, at the beginning of this, you started it by saying this is not rapper Joe, but now when you asking that question, that makes me feel like this is rapper Joe.
All rapper.
It's all rapper Joe. Like, this is very rapperish. Like, nigga, you being a goon,
like,
you know.
Joe is, and I know, like, once you start being like, yeah, well, you're not that good, so I'll wait for you. And that's what I heard. I was like, oh, man, this nigga really is, like, he afraid. He afraid.
He is. I don't know if I don't think Joe Budden is necessarily afraid of the fisticuffs. I think he's just being pussy by not getting on wax and responding. Like, you having a talk show and going and saying I'm angry Joe Budden, blah, blah, blah. All that shit is like, bro, that's cool, my nigga, but niggas want you to rap.
I don't know. I think Joe Budden, as crazy as it sounds, I think Joe Budden knows now he's got things to lose.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Like, that's what I was hearing in that interview. I think he knows now he has something to lose. So because consumers will believe anything that a rapper says. It's like the same person who last year spent 4 months probably dissing one person, the biggest person in rap.
Yeah.
Right? And Drake didn't even say anything about him, really.
Nope.
You're not, like, come on, like, I know the consumers literally, like, 30 minutes you forget everything that happened in your life before that. But it's like the same person who did that, like, a few months ago is not also the same person, like, well, now I don't have to respond to Eminem, but you had to respond to Drake? What? Everybody called you a clown for responding to like, but, like, you're not gonna, if you were anybody else, I would have believed that. If you're anybody else,
but he's just one of those people who takes everything to heart so much that you a fucking liar, my nigga.
It's like, bro, you literally spent, like, the beginning of your podcast, literally people calling it the Drake podcast. Like, stop. Just be honest, please. Just be like, I mean, you can't be honest. That's the problem, though. He can't be like, well, I have too much to lose at this moment. If I go at him and it's like perceived that I lost, with all of this stuff that I'm prospering with, it's not worth it.
It's not, So he could just be Angry Joe on the fucking Angry Joe podcast, you heard?
Because before, the reason why he attacked Drake is because Drake had more to lose and he didn't have nothing to lose at that time. Yeah. So Drake even mentioning him was a win.
He's strategic. I'll give Joe, but he's very strategic. He's very sneaky.
Strategic, but not very well.
And
he's very good. I feel like if you pay attention, like, even pay the littlest attention, you'll be like, yeah, that's just somebody who wild insecure and just moves accordingly. Like, insecure to the point where it's like, everybody's insecure, but insecure to the point where it's like, God, my nigga, like, you might have to do something about this insecurity, G.
Yeah. He, I will say, I'm glad that he admitted that he was the reason why Slaughterhouse was shit.
I mean, but what did that, I don't even get, why?
Because, I mean, I feel like that was kind of him proving that it wasn't all like what everybody kind of made it out to be between him and Eminem. I feel like a lot of people definitely thought that him and Eminem were cool or had that perception. I think that for sure.
Yeah, I think people did, but I mean, I guess someone like me, I knew
Yeah,
Like,
but see
like,
but see now you thinking too much like a fucking creator, because I mean you knew that, I knew that, but like I think the masses would have looked at that and been like, oh nah, they're cool because of the fact that, you know, Slaughterhouse, Eminem, like, okay, cool, boom, so they're gonna put them together. But the way Joe Budden, so I think that was cool, calm to say, to clear the air for that. At least he admitted to, you know, that, yo, listen, like, I was the reason why this shit was going because I wasn't feeling it, blah, 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 like shit like that.
But he said that before, though.
Yeah, he has, but like, this is more important because this podcast is probably going to be more viewed than majority of his podcasts in general.
Oh, that's a fact. Yeah,
so it's like, him saying that kind of makes it a universally known thing. Not everybody listens to Joe Budden. You know what I mean? So a good majority of people don't listen to Joe Budden. Like, I mean, if you talking numbers, you know, the majority of people don't. I mean, he's a very high viewed people, but just in general, like, even since Everyday Struggle, people would watch Joe Budden. People started watching Joe Budden more on Everyday Struggle than they did, I mean, even his podcast. That made him more of a household name. You know what I mean? And so him not being that on anymore, I feel like, you know, this...
But, I don't know. Yeah, no. His podcast was definitely like the #1 podcast before that, too. But, I think a different age group got to know about Joe Budden after Everyday Struggle.
Yeah, facts.
My issue with this is, and it's weird that I'm in this position now, because it's like my biggest issue with this whole thing is, let's not erase or try to, if the only way you could beat somebody is by erasing what they've actually done, then you didn't beat them. You didn't beat them. You're just lying. You're pretending like you're beating them because you know it's strategic. Yeah, you know
it
you're
is.
not actually winning, but it looks like you're winning. So it's like, because now there's people who will be like, "Oh yeah, no, I don't like this guy."
Joe Budden is he's very vindictive type of baby mom nigga. Like he's like a scorned baby mom with his like get back. He says shit where he knows it's gonna like throw a wrench in the gears, but then he just kind of like has one foot in, one foot out, where you're like, well, he's so passionate. People kind of mistake Joe Budden's passion a lot for truth. They like, they think that what he's saying, they're like, oh my God, and blah, blah, blah. And it's crazy because like, I kind of notice that shit in myself a lot. Like, when I'm talking to you outside of this and I'm not on video, I'm way more rah-rah than I am on this. I'm very, like, more calm. So when I see Joe Budden and I'm like, that's weird, I know that passion that he's talking right now. Like, that's real. But then, like, people kind of mistake that as like, all right, well, he must be telling the truth. And that aggression, like that aggression can like bully a nigga into that. And I know that because in real life, you know, I'm more of a like hyped up person. So I'm like, yeah, I can see myself, you know, saying something rah-rah and a person be like, well, yeah, that nigga's telling the truth. And nigga, I could be telling the bullshit story.
The truer you are. That's like the new thing.
Yeah, and like I don't know, it's weird to me to see that, and a lot of people mistake that as truth, and like I don't know, truth.
I'm not mad at, because I think people might be mad at like Rory and Maul. No, Rory and Maul did what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, I
That's
agree.
Their mans. Like
I
they're
agree.
supposed to, because if that happened to me and you on there like, I don't know,
Listen, you definitely gonna have to fire off of me. You my nigga. Hey, I'm a Philly nigga in the background. You heard? I'm hyping every boy. I'm like,
because like what? That doesn't even make. Like I would have looked at them weird, funny style if they would have. Been like, yo, that nigga body you, son.
Yeah, you know, like that's cool. Yeah.
You better pretend that nigga didn't body him.
Definitely, yeah. Word. But I would still push you to respond though. I'm not gonna lie. You know me. I've been that nigga in that situation before with you. You know what I mean? Like,
but there's definitely situations in which you should not respond.
Oh, facts. Yeah,
like, this situation, should M respond? No. To Joe? No. Why?
Yeah.
What would he, like, Joe clearly, he already sent the shot, Joe ducked it, so now you're pretending like, oh, you gotta send another shot, and it's gotta be good, and then
that's corny.
Like,
That's corny.
That's a little like, okay, bro, like, Even if you're not scared, that was the scariest thing you could have said.
Facts.
Like,
oh,
even
yeah,
if you're
yeah,
not
yeah.
scared, that was the most scariest thing you could have said. Like,
That was
you
definitely
might as well
very.
have said no.
That was definitely very like look around the room like, man, I beat that nigga in that fight though, right?
No,
And then
know
you
what
like
it's
waiting
You
for
know what
nigga.
it's like? No, you know what it's like? It's like a nigga punching you in their mouth in front of your friends. You bust your lip open and you're like, all right, well, let that nigga punch me again though. Let that nigga punch me again though. Let him punch me again. See what happens. See what happens if he punch me again. It's like, well, he already punched you. Like,
Word.
it's not on him to punch you again.
Right. No, like, nigga,
bro,
what?
just respond or don't respond, but don't hit us with that weird logic. Like, listen, he's gonna have to hit me again for me to. Like, nah. Now you look scared. You didn't. Even if you didn't look scared before, now you look scared. Like, what?
I agree.
Just say I'm not gonna respond.
I agree. That's a fact. I don't know, man. Y'all niggas gotta let us know what you think about this shit. It's wild. I think it's hot.
This one was, but we had to get everything out.
Word. Yo, this shit was fun. Word up. That shit is wild, dog. I don't know.
I already know the comment section gonna be crazy. Put in the comment section below. What do you think? Hold on. What did you guys think of the podcast? Did you watch the podcast? Is Joe Budden tripping? Is Eminem tripping? Is he right? Does M have to attack him again? We didn't even talk about this. No, we gotta end it with this one. Do you think Eminem is at the final? Like, should he retire? That's a good way to end it. Do you think that? Eminem
yes, and the reason why is not because I don't think he's capable of keep doing what he's doing. I think because if he left right now, this would be the perfect way to leave hip hop. Certain people need to learn when it's the time, and right now would be a perfect time. Like, I'm not saying I don't want to hear records from him, hear freestyles from him, but if he never dropped the album again, I'd be happy. This is a perfect outing, bro. Great album, like front to back, like very solid body of work. I'm not mad at that. I would.
Yeah, and it's also like, who knows if you drop something else, now it's like, oh, nigga, you should have left after that last one.
Yup.
But, like, it's like me with, I can't tell an Eminem fan that, though, because that's like me with Jay-Z, because as long as there's air in Jay-Z's lungs, he better be rapping.
No. That's why I said what I said. I hope that, like, you know, he's still dropping. I don't even care if he's dropping, like, EPs and shit like that. Just don't drop another album. If you wanted to drop a little 4-track thing, you wanted to get in on a song with some people, you kind of like Andre 3000. Andre 3000's legacy is preserved so beautifully because he doesn't make too much.
Eminem messed up because what's supposed to happen when you become like God tier is you're supposed to back out. You have to, because the only person who doesn't have to do that, and Jay is even getting there, is Jay. But Jay is kind of getting there with some of the things, some of the sales he's doing. It's just like, yo, my nigga, even though I don't want to see it, if you are doing this for success, you might want to start looking at an exit strategy now. Because,
because that cake. Yeah,
I don't never in life want to hear another cake verse. It'll literally break my heart.
Benito gang, nigga, get that shit the fuck out of here, you heard?
I'd just rather have you not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Spit again. So it's just like, with me, I think M is at that level now, that God tier level where you have to only do features and jump-ins. That's why Lauryn Hill don't rap no more really like that. Or if she does, she's just gonna remix Drake's remix of her and do. That's why Andre 3000. Once you get to a certain level, it's literally success. You either, dog, the illest quote I've ever heard in life, swear to God, was from Batman, The Dark Knight. And it's the illest quote, the realest quote, and you either die the hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Period. There's no other options. You either die the hero or live long. That's it. You're never going to live long and be the hero. As long as you keep doing it. And I don't mean literally die. I mean, like, your career might have to be done. Your career might have to die.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. Yeah, man. Let us know what you think. M retire. M keep going. What you think of that Joe Budden? Is he smoking dust? Is he not smoking dust?
Make sure y'all check out my reaction I did about his little clip. That is hilarious.
Views been crazy, numbers been crazy, subs been crazy, all that been crazy. Drop them comments, like, subscribe. You heard Motherful Podcast, and we out.
I ain't got time for all that flashy shit. Let's just get right to it, man. My mic on? Alright, listen. I'm dealing with tough shit, depression and some shit. All of this fuck shit I just cannot put up with. Shouldn't be upset cause I know that we up next. But what about success? It sucks too much stress. I'm dealing with tough shit, depression and some shit. All of this fuck shit I just cannot put up with. Shouldn't be upset cause I know that we up next. But what about success? It sucks too much stress, I guess. No one can hear you scream when you up this high, baby. No one can hear you scream. No one can hear you scream. This the life that you asked for, but no one can hear you scream. Think I've been battling depression for a little bit. To me, a while to understand I was really sick. Maybe I wasn't understanding what it really is. To make a nigga wanna scream out like a little kid. It was some little shit. Can't give a fuck about what niggas is talking about, cause you ain't never been inside the shoes I've been walking around. And you ain't never been inside the pool when the sharks is around. And you ain't never been up on the roof and y'all talking me down. Before I jumped off, treating every girl I meet like a jump off. Cause that's the only way I know the Heidi thumbs cause. Cause I'm heard I'm calling every bitch a dumb broad. Now that's fuck, little dude, but it's easier to say and I got trust issues. It's easier to fake I got no trust in you. Cause one day I'm afraid I won't fuck with you. Nah, and you don't fuck with Scru. And you gon' just decide to up and move. And you gon' take my joy and comfort too. And all of your stupid friends gon' comfort you. But trust this, Scru. If you make a song about what fucks with you, and you can touch somebody that get fucked with too, then forever worse the better they'll fuck with you. No one can hear you scream when you up this high, baby. No one can hear you scream. No one can hear you scream. This the life that you asked for, but no one can hear you scream.